This is gonna blow your mind. Breaking news just in from the world of 007. Grab a drink, get comfy on the sofa, because have I got some gossip for you? It seems the world of espionage is about to get a rather dramatic facelift. Ever since that little online bookshop Amazon decided to buy, just the entirety of MGM, the whispers about who will next don the iconic tuxedo have reached a fever pitch. We've all waved a tearful goodbye to the brilliant Daniel Craig, who left the franchise in, shall we say, a rather explosive state. Now, with the keys to the kingdom firmly in Jeff Bezos' hands, it seems the martinis are out and perhaps kombucha is in. A rather juicy casting wish list has apparently been doing the rounds. And let me tell you, it's caused quite a stir online, more than one of my guests after a few too many glasses of wine. The internet is absolutely buzzing, with everyone from your nan to your dog having an opinion on the matter. The old guard of potential Bonds, your Cavills, your Hardys, your Hiddlestons, seem to have been politely shown the door. It appears the producers are no longer looking for a seasoned veteran with a few miles on the clock. Oh no, that would be far too simple, wouldn't it? Instead, the spotlight has swung dramatically toward a much younger, fresher-faced generation. We're talking about actors who were probably in nappies when Pierce Brosnan was driving his invisible car. The memo from on high seems to be, find us a Bond for the TikTok era. It's a bold, some might say audacious, move to completely reinvent the character for a new audience. The question on everyone's lips is, can a Gen Z super spy truly fill those very, very big shoes? Let's dive in and have a look at the top contenders, shall we? This is going to be fun. And before we jump in, don't forget to like, subscribe and click that bell icon so you never miss the latest Bond buzz and movie news. First up, we have a young man who seems to have cornered the market on brooding intensity. Honestly, the smolder on this one could power a small country. I'm talking, of course, about Jacob Elordi. Now, for many, he's the bad boy from Euphoria, all swagger and secrets, a walking red flag that you can't help but be drawn to. He has this incredible screen presence, a sort of dark, magnetic charisma that pulls you in whether you want it to or not. You can just picture him, can't you? Leaning against a ridiculously expensive car, looking utterly miserable but devastatingly handsome. It's a very specific skill. His intensity is something to behold. It's not just about looking moody, there's a genuine depth there, a sense of a storm brewing just beneath the surface. This isn't your charming, winking Bond of yesteryear. An Elordi Bond would be a creature of pure, raw nerve. He would be dangerous, unpredictable, and frankly, a bit terrifying. You wouldn't be sure if he was about to kiss you or throw you out of a moving train. And isn't that just the kind of thrill we need? He'd bring a real, palpable edge to the character, a psychological weight that would be fascinating to watch unfold over a series of films. We saw a different side of him recently, playing none other than Elvis Presley in Priscilla. And what a performance! He captured the vulnerability behind the icon, the quiet torment of a man trapped in a gilded cage. It was a role that required immense complexity, showing the charm and the monster all at once. That's the kind of duality that is absolutely essential for James Bond. The character is, after all, a blunt instrument, a government-sanctioned killer who has to navigate the most glamorous and treacherous of worlds. Elordi has proven he can handle that kind of layered characterization with a subtlety that belies his years. Imagine that complexity poured into the 007 legacy, a Bond who is genuinely struggling with the moral compromises of his job, whose handsome face masks a truly troubled soul. It would be a departure certainly from the unflappable confidence we're used to. This Bond might not always have the perfect quip ready. He might be a bit broken, a bit rough around the edges, a man who wins not because he's perfect, but because his demons drive him harder than anyone else. It's a compelling thought, isn't it? A Bond for a more anxious age. He's got the height, he's certainly got the looks, and he has that star quality that makes you unable to look away. Casting Jacob Elordi would be a statement. It would signal that the new 007 is not here to play by the old rules. He's here to burn the whole casino down and maybe, just maybe, order a vodka martini while he watches the flames. It's a risky choice, a bold choice, but one that could pay off in the most spectacular way. He'd be a Bond who feels both classic and shockingly new. Now for our next contender, let's swing over, see what I did there, to a face the entire world knows and loves. It's Tom Holland, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I know what you're thinking. Graham, have you had one too many G&Ts? The kid who does backflips in a onesie as James Bond? And yes, on the surface it seems a little mad, doesn't it? He's so charming, so boyish, so nice. But hold on, don't dismiss him just yet. Casting him would be the ultimate signal that we are in for a total, ground-up reboot of the franchise. Think about it. His global recognition is off the charts. People adore him. He has this built-in audience that would follow him anywhere, even into the hallowed halls of MI6. This wouldn't be about finding a new actor to continue the story. This would be about starting the story all over again. A prequel-style reboot. We could see a young, fresh out of the Navy James Bond before the cynicism and the emotional scars set in. A Bond who is still learning the ropes, making mistakes, and perhaps is even a little bit in awe of the world he's just entered. And before you pigeonhole him as just the quippy superhero, you must look at his more dramatic work. He was absolutely heartbreaking in Cherry, playing a soldier suffering from PTSD who turns to a life of crime. It was a gritty, harrowing performance that showed a range many didn't know he had. Then there's The Crowded Room, where he delved into some truly dark and complex psychological territory. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty and explore the less glamorous, more painful side of a character. He's proven he has the dramatic chops to carry a role with real weight. So, picture this. Tom Holland as a rookie 00 agent. He's got the physical prowess. We've all seen that. He can do the stunts. He can handle the action sequences with an incredible acrobatic flair that would bring a whole new energy to the fight scenes. But he could also bring a vulnerability we've never seen before, a Bond who is still finding his footing, who perhaps still has a glimmer of optimism, a belief that he can make a difference before the harsh realities of espionage start to chip away at his soul. It would be Bond's origin story in a way we've never truly witnessed on screen. It would be a complete pivot for the franchise, a move designed to capture a whole new generation of fans. He's got the charm, the talent, and the global appeal. It would be less about the suave, experienced killer and more about the making of the man. How did James Bond become James Bond? With Tom Holland in the lead, we could finally get the answer to that question. It would be a Bond who learns to be suave, who earns his license to kill, and who we could watch grow into the legend. It's a fascinating prospect, turning the entire formula on its head. And finally, we have a choice that feels both wonderfully traditional and refreshingly modern. Let's talk about Harris Dickinson. Now, this is a young man who just feels British through and through. You can imagine him being perfectly at home in a Savile Row suit, ordering a Vespa martini with the kind of quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout. He has that classic British refinement, a sort of understated elegance that feels very well Bond. He's got the look, the accent, and the pedigree. He first turned heads as the dashing Conrad Oxford in The King's Man. In that film, he was the archetypal young English hero, noble, brave, and desperate to prove himself. He looked completely natural in period costume, handling the action and the drama with an easy grace. It was like watching a dry run for a young Bond, a glimpse of the potential he has to embody that kind of iconic British character. He has a certain gravitas that makes him feel older than his years, a steady presence that would be a fantastic anchor for the franchise. But then you look at his role in the brilliant satire Triangle of Sadness, and you see a completely different side to him. He was funny, he was vulnerable, he was a bit of a mess, and he was utterly compelling. It showed he has an incredible range and is not afraid to play against type, to deconstruct the very idea of the handsome leading man. This is crucial for a modern Bond. We don't just want a clothes horse, we want an actor who can find the humanity, the flaws, and even the absurdity in the character. Dickinson has that in spades. Casting him would represent a reinvention of Bond from a more grounded, realistic perspective. He's not a towering, brooding force like Elodie, nor a global superstar like Holland. He's an actor's actor. His Bond would likely be more subtle, more cerebral. A spy who relies as much on his wits and his ability to blend in as he does on his fists and gadgets. He could bring a refined, intellectual quality back to the role, reminiscent of the early Connery days but filtered through a modern lens. He'd be a thinking man's Bond. A Harris Dickinson Bond would be a Bond reinvented but not ripped up from the roots. It would feel like a natural evolution. He represents a way to keep the essential Britishness, the sophistication, and the core elements of the character intact, while pushing him in a new, more nuanced direction. He could be the perfect bridge between the old and the new, a choice that could satisfy longtime fans while also feeling fresh and exciting for a new audience. He is in many ways the dark horse, the sophisticated choice, and perhaps the most brilliant one of all. So there we have it. 3 fascinating and, let's be honest, wildly different possibilities for the future of our favourite spy. From the raw, brooding intensity of Jacob Elordi, to the boyish charm and prequel potential of Tom Holland, to the refined, modern classicism of Harris Dickinson. Each one offers a completely unique vision for where the franchise could go. It's clear that the producers are not looking to play it safe. They're swinging for the fences, aiming to redefine what James Bond can be in the 21st century. This isn't just a simple recasting, it's a fundamental reimagining of a cultural icon. The decision they make will tell us everything about the kind of Bond they want for the next decade and beyond. Do they want the dark, psychologically complex anti-hero, the action-packed origin story, or the sophisticated modern gentleman? It's a tantalizing puzzle, and the entire film world is waiting with bated breath to see which piece they choose. The big question, of course, is, will fans accept a Gen Z 007? Can a new generation truly embrace a character so steeped in history? Only time will tell. The Aston Martin is in the garage, waiting for a new driver. The tuxedo is at the tailor's, ready for a new fitting. The world is in peril, as it always is, waiting for a hero to save it. All that's missing is the man himself. One thing is for certain, the next chapter in this incredible legacy is going to be a thrilling ride. Stay tuned. The name is Bond, James Bond. But the face? That's still to be decided.